I'll just play that through again. That's got about 40 seconds of music here that I want to fiddle with and prepare for the next section. This is what we're dealing with though. Yeah. So a couple of things that I want to deal with first. Just have a listen to this kind of feedback piano thing I got going. Pretty cool, I reckon. It's got that nice feedback on it, but oh, see what I mean by feedback? Anyway, so here's the melody that I want to look at first up. It consists of like a patch I made on my new synthesizer, and then just another preset that I made a while back. Don't like that click. Yeah, so it's kind of like very kind of out of tune sort of sound, which I kind of like. So what we're going to do, we're going to render that down into a single track, and then I'm going to start fiddling with it. That might be the most efficient way to do it first up. Cool, okay. So now we're just talking about a single track. It's a lot easier to work with now, so we can think about how we're going to do it. I've been told to glitch it, which I think could be cool. So like a simple way to glitch it would be just take one note, let's say the first one, and just do audio slicing. You know, like duplicating. It's kind of like a manual version of what beat repeat does. Another one is you can ignore the transient and then just capture like the little tails of notes and stuff. That's pretty cool. But I reckon we can approach it in a better way. I stupidly recorded the delay effect, so I'm turning that off. I'm going to re-record it. Cool. That's a bit better to work with now. So yeah, one way we could do it is we could just take a bar, drag it in. So in this instance, we'll just deal with the first two bars, and there's what? 1, 2, 3 notes maybe. Yeah, da, 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 da. So one way I like to deal with it is to ignore the very first part of the transient and just take chunks from just immediately afterwards. So you get cool glitches. Especially when there's small changes in volume. Like that. It's like a gating effect. And you often get pretty cool rhythms out of that. And the way to kind of make that more interesting would be to use a utility device and modulate the panning. That can be really quite cool. And so each glitch can have a different pan position, which gives a very cool tripped out effect. So we'll just put that in now. There, that, and I'm just being completely random, partially because I don't expect this is going to be like a final product or anything. I think I'm just kind of going to fiddle around, show a few different techniques first, then take it further later on. But yeah, I'm just kind of being random about it. You know, it doesn't really matter too much at this stage anyway, because we're just talking about little rolls. And I'm not worrying about these really small chunks of the clip, because I regard them as part of a main chunk, if you know what I mean. Like these rolls that are happening, there's a tiny little bit caught at the end, and I'm just regarding that as part of the whole. So what we do here, we can drag it up like that, drag that down the middle there, and have that one start on the left and then move to the right. Yeah, it's kind of functioning a bit like using auto pan, but we're doing it in a different way, which I think is cool. So here we're doing that. Yeah, all right, we're almost there. Let's see how that sounds. If we don't mute the others, get this. Yeah, that's one way of getting a pretty interesting glitchy sort of effect going on. But I want to try something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do, we're going to have a couple of different tracks. Let's say, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what we're going to do is there's going to be different randomization effects on each track, which should give pretty cool results. So let's build some. Okay. First thing is drop an audio effect rack and then decide what kind of modulation we're going to use. I think maybe on the first one we will use beat repeat to get that stuttering effect, which is always nice. set it to auto trigger, make the interval, I don't know, quarter, it'll do. Yeah, put that over there. I've set it to mix, could set it to gate. Yeah, set it to gate is the best way to deal with it, because then we can keep the original melody part and just have the gate effects coming in. Let's pick something else. How about like frequency shift or ring modulation? And we can use an LFO to randomize it further. So set it to ring mod, pull the frequency down, map the LFO to the frequency, change the LFO position, LFO shape into a random, and set the random position in, I don't know, every 8th or something. That's pretty funky. Let's give it a bit of LFO as well, just to modulate further. And map the LFO to the spread as well, just to make it more wacky. It's pretty cool. Okay, next one. What we got here? 3, 4, okay. I'm putting the same beat repeat on, but we're going to change it. So we're going to get rid of the frequency shifter. And we'll find something else. How about we use Redux? Yeah, it's still called Redux, cool. Cool. All right, grab an LFO. I love using LFOs to modulate things because you can get some really interesting effects, especially when you set them to random and a decent amount of smooth, you get really cool changes. Check it out. It's a bit extreme, so I'm bringing up the... Getting a lot of high end coming in there, which might be a problem later on. Cool, let's use vinyl distortion as well. Set the drive and the pinch gain onto full and map it to the frequency. So now if we mix those two together, I kind of worry that we're getting a bit too much distortion from this. And I stupidly deleted the first one because I didn't hold control when I added a new track. So that's foolish of me. So we go back and what was it? That was a frequency shifter. So I'm dragging the frequency shifter on, setting it to ring mod, mapping the frequency. make it a 1/8 change rate. Or quarter. Let's hear them together now. Let's change the gate as well. And maybe the pitch. No, I don't like changing the pitch. Let's get a third one going. And the idea is I just want to get different randomizations happening, which we can then cut up with and deal with later on. So number 4, what are we going to use? Could use a filter. Oh hell, let's use an auto pan and make a tremolo out of it. So to make a tremolo with auto pan, all you have to do is set the phase to 0. So then you've only got both the left and right are coming in at the same time, so the volume's the same. And we can then map the rate with the LFO, set it to random, or gives you an idea of what's happening. Let's set the change to 1/8, 1/6. And we can also change the shape of the same LFO just for a bit extra fun. And let's add a second LFO. This second LFO can control the phase, which should make it a bit weird. That's actually really cool. For a single effect, that's a really, really cool effect. How about we then put a grain delay before this, so it's like chopping up the delays. That's a bit extreme. I better do it manually. Okay. Set the time to 1 millisecond, and we're going to modulate with one of these LFOs will modulate the frequency. Now we have all three together. It's starting to get a bit more wacky, I think. And the final instance can just be a clean beat repeat. I'm just dragging on the initial one and turning frequency shifter off. And what we're going to do now is we are going to freeze them all, and then we're going to consolidate them all. It just saves time because I'm then going to have to kind of like balance out the volumes and the panning and everything, because I don't want them playing all the time, otherwise they'll lose their impact. So that's the plan anyway. And put the delays and all that shit on afterwards. I just want to get a cool melody with bits of glitches going on first. And flatten them. So, now we're going to have to mix them with the original. The easiest way to do that is to just use the good old on and off button. And looping. Where is it? Loop selection. It's kind of cool, actually. Let's have a listen. Put in a few reverses as well. It's kind of cool. Alright, continue onwards. There's a lot more happening there, so let's go track by track. Close that. I don't want that aggressive sort of glitching. Just want little bits and pieces. Put that there. And we're going to use utility to control the volume and the panning, because that way we're not mucking around with the actual mix. And believe me, that's like a trick that you want to really remember. So I'm grouping the utility. Should already have a group of it. Nah, apparently I don't. Whatever. Anyway, map the gain to macro 1, go into mapping and set the max at 0. That way it's going to be much easier to deal with. Panning to macro 2. Cool. Give it 2 macros. Close it up. Drag it to the others. This is really, really helpful when you're dealing with glitchy sorts of sounds. balance gain. We can fade it in by getting a shape. We get this. That's too aggro for me. Let's have a listen. That's getting cool. Okay, next bar. Okay, we don't need that there, straight up. Ignore that, it's too aggressive. It's already a pre-built bar. I barely had to change anything there. What about this one? Okay, so let's have a listen to this melody that we've got. Now we can start thinking about doing some pan effects, and honestly I think I might just use auto pan, at least to see what results we can get. So how about we set the shape to like a full square or something. The rate for the first one can be, I don't know, 1/4. Yeah, that's cool. All right. Control and drag to get it to the next one. Change the rate to, I don't know, 1/8. Yeah, cool. Drag it onto another one. This time we can change the shape and make it a much longer one. Like 1 bar, or 2 bars. Cool. Click and drag to a new one and change it again to 1.5. Let's listen to all the glitches without the underlying melody. Now with the melody. honestly think that's pretty cool. Let's see what it's like with everything going on. Alright. So I don't like how it fades out. So I'm going to use like some auto filters and stuff like that to make it drift off into the distance. So a really, really good way to make it sound like something's kind of getting further away is to use auto filter in conjunction with a reverb. So you start the reverb off at like completely dry and the low pass filter at 100%. And then as the filter goes down, the reverb goes up and it will create the effect of distance, of something getting further away. Like depending on the shape of the reverb, you can get like the effect of someone walking into a cave or walking out further away. It's very cool. It's to do with the fact that with the way our ears work, the closer something is to us, the better we hear the high frequencies. So when you hear something from further away, you're going to get more reverb and you're going to get a less full frequency response. So let's have a listen to that. Cool. All right, what about the next one? So this one I'm going to do a similar but different approach. I'm going to use a high pass filter, no resonance, and we're likewise going to have that drift away at the same rate, which gives us this. But we'll use the hybrid reverb, maybe like the droney cave, I like that one, to give us a different sort of effect. Likewise, we are going to use the same concept of changing the dry wet. That was cool how the noise just built up then. I liked that. Basically do the same thing again with how to do it this time. Let's use EQ8 because that's a cool effect. You can do a lot with EQ8. So likewise, dry wet's going to be going up, but this time we will have it become like a band pass and then the band pass and move away. I think that could be a bit of fun. So we have to find a midpoint for our frequencies. How about 500? So by the time we get to, make it a bit higher, 700? Yeah, that's cool, okay. So by the time we get to the first bar, we want both filters to be around 500 to 700 or so. I'm gonna bring that up. Don't want it to be too close, otherwise it'll kind of disappear, as you can see here. Won't let much in. And then we could just have it slowly drift off. Where is it? There. That's nice. So that's a good way of looking at how to get filter movement in a different way. Oh, it's a terrifying sound that, oh my God. And the last one, how about we go? Shut up, goddamn. Go bitrate reduction in conjunction with a low pass filter. And we'll give this one a little bit of reverb as well. How about, I don't know, wide hallway. They're all basically the same. So let's listen to how they drift off now. Whoops. I think for the drifting off portion, we should change the rate as well. So at this point, we will have it go from being linked to beats to being linked to frequency. And here we're going to change the frequency from like, I don't know, do the same thing here. And the rate is 1K, and we'll have it kind of drift off. We don't have to worry about the other two because they already have fairly low panning rates. But I just want them to be out of sync. That's cool at the end there. Sounds like someone whistling. All right. Let's listen to them together. 2, 3, 4. Now in context. Cool. So I'm going to render all these down into a single audio track. also going to render down the melody itself. Cool. Made a single mistake there. Would be nice to have a high pass filter drift away that crap from there really slowly. Let's have a listen. You know what? I'm going to Moog, Control T, put in keys melody. I just want to have them separate. And should I do 2 instances with the automated gain? Not sure. Yeah, I'll do 2 instances. So the first instance will be with the automated gain. The second instance will be without the automated gain. Cool. Moog auto. Alright, let's put that there for the time being. Now we'll do unautomated gain. So this is just raw file. Okay, so we can deactivate that clip, put it over here for sake of keeping, put the Moog auto gain back there. Now we are going to, what the hell was that? Never mind. Let's resample the key melody now. Cool. Melody effects. Now, it's very important to remember to name shit. Let's make a MIDI track. Call it Melody MIDIs. And I'm gonna click and drag to make an instance of that. And then we can delete the lead, delete the keys, delete, delete, delete. And we can delete that one as well. delete audio, blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff is now going in its own group. They're trying to anyway. They're trying to break free. See if they can. Call this lead synths. So now, much better. Make them a different color as well. Nice putrid yellow is a kind of stands out. So let's listen to the pianos. Now we can start giving our synths a little bit of delay. Just going to run an ad break while I go to the toilet, and then we'll render some stuff and continue on. Now I'm just going to quickly render it so I can send this instance to the person I'm working on it with. Rendering audio. Boop-ba, boop-a-da, doodle-da. Once I send it over, then we'll continue. Start work on maybe the drums or something. Guess we'll see. I just hit my head on the microphone, which is a bit silly. but there's not much I can do about that. So cool. All right. Now the drums that we have sound like this. They're pretty fat, I think. Though this sample has bit more reverb than I'd like on it, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now we need some sort of riser there. So I'm just going to start looking through effects. Fuck it, why don't we make our own riser? So I'm dropping in an instance of wavetable and it's going to cover about 20 seconds. Yeah, so we want to get it to a B. Now I like to do pitch modulation with my risers, and the easiest way to do that I've found is just to use a pitch bend. So for instance, we can go up 2 octaves by having it be one giant triangle like this. But I think we're better off just going up a single octave and giving it a bit of a curve. So it becomes a bit more exponential. Cool, okay. So now we can start thinking about wave shape. Now I always love the junk. Make it go down an octave and see how we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so we're going to group that. 38% will be the center. So make it say 34 and 42. So now we can move our wavetable around. Yeah, I just love like the really subtle wavetable moves where it's just kind of like just slowly morphing the wave shape. It's really cool. Okay, maybe we can use an LFO as well to give it like some pitch wobble. That's a classic method, and we can change the rate. Yeah, maybe from 3 Hertz to 30,000 Hertz, and then we change the amount as well, so it'll build up in time. Oh, that's sick. Make the rate drop really rapidly as well. And we can have that same LFO controlling the amplitude as well, which can be a cool thing. So if we set it to 50 and the volume in the middle, it should go from negative infinity to 100% up and down like that. That's cool. All right, let's add a second oscillator and do a very similar thing. What about in collection? What have we got? Got oscillator 2. I think beige is one that I like. What about charcoal? Too aggressive. Graphite. Not enough sign. No. Yeah, cool. Rust will do. Alright. Map rust to macro 2. Same thing. Give it a range of, I don't know, 45 to 55. Should be enough to work with. Let's just hear what happens. No. Okay, we've got to change the range quite dramatically. Something like that. And for LFO2, how about, what can we modulate with that to give it an interesting kind of reaction? That's cool. So how about go from 100 all the way down to 1 Hertz. For LFO2, the amount can build up again. Make it as brutal as possible. let's deal with the filter. Cool. All right, secondary, let's use a morph. Have the frequency slowly go down. So this position to be, where are we? There, okay. When we get to there, have it be like a band pass. When we get to there, have it be like a high pass. Once it's there, it's a morph. And once it's there, it's back to a high pass. So I've got some kind of complicated filter movement happening here. Let's make the second one a morph as well so we can get some cool dynamics going on. Started as a notch. Band pass there. Back up to a notch. Back down, up, down, up. This should give us some interesting movement. Let's have a listen. Cool. All right, I'm pretty happy with that so far. Let's add the second oscillator. So that's like honestly quite a bit of stuff going on just for two oscillators and two LFOs. So now I'm putting unison on to see what will happen. How about classic? That's another good one you can do. Have it become mono when it gets to the end. So you start off really wide with like 8 voices. Or you can do the opposite. That's another classic one. Cool. Oops. It's actually really cool what we've got here, because this the hybrid reverb seems to have like a gate threshold thing that gives a really cool noisy effect. Have a listen. That is such a cool tone. Oh my god. All right. Let's get some cool stereo separation going on. So I'm going to duplicate the vintage boombox and make them a little bit different, like just change the delay on one and the other. I'm going to pan them left and right. And we're going to put some vinyl distortion on one of them. we're going to run the frequencies up and down almost like a kind of inverted band pass filter. And this is where we're going to start to get some pretty cool movement. Okay, what else can we do? Maybe use nostalgia. Basically, my idea is I'm turning everything into like a fairly complicated chain. Just so instead of having like a really clear identity on the tone, it's going to be a bit of a mess. So for this one, how about we use like some tube kind of distortion at the start? Maybe I should have that at the very start of the chain. It's got that really cool kind of electric sound there. Okay. Let's get some more going on. How about we can use frequency shifter before the boombox. And we can change the spread. Have it go up and down, then up, then down. Let's, I'm not quite sure how I want to do the stereo expansion of this. So I'm going to try just having one left and one right and just seeing what happens. Okay, what about if we're together? That doesn't work either. What about if I use the autofilter spin function? That could be cool. So let's try that. I'm going to set it to like a pretty wide band pass. It's going to be getting most of the range that we want, and we're going to set the spin to 50%. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Doing the same thing here. I'm going to change the amount and the rate a bit. And the phase, that's kind of important. And now we try hard splitting them. Okay. So for the final chain, which is going to be in the middle, I want to keep that kind of lo-fi quality, but I also want to expand it a bit. It's kind of cool, but I don't know if it's appropriate. It's kind of cool. What about if I set that to like vintage? I love that kind of cutting noise that's going on there. It's really cool. So what we can do is we can, because I mean, that sounds sick, right? Yeah, the harmonic chains. And we can even like do some vocoder stuff as well. Or some spectral resonance. enter, duplicate, fifth, so the fifth B is F sharp. Make it F sharp 2. Third, about. So what we'll do is we'll gradually fade it out so the roots become stronger. Yeah, I don't really have much experience with this effect. Nah, I'm not too keen on that. What about we just try some presets? Not cool. Spectral blur. Try band echo, whatever that means. Bad if I fade it in. Holy. Oh my god. This is a pretty wacky riser. Yeah, better give them some gain. Preferably not distortion gain. So I'm just dropping a utility on after the filter, giving it a boost of 6, doing the same thing to the other one, giving it a boost of 6. So now I'm just kind of leveling out the gain. Try with 2 filters. render that down in 2 instances, as I've been doing with a few of these things. So the first instance will be no delay. And the second instance will be with the delay. Vintage riser, no delay. Okay. Put it away for the time being. Now we'll get an instance of it. Vintage riser delay. Okay. So I'm putting the second one just after the first and I'm turning it off. Now I'm going to listen in context. I think that should kind of be the peak, right? If I move that forward a little bit. I want to try one more thing. Let's see what happens when we go down an octave. Pretty cool. Let's go down another. Vintage riser. Now you give 8V. 8V. No delay. What happens if we give it a heap of delay? gain, I'm just going to warp it a little bit. Alright, let's go back to the start and listen to what we've made. What's on this effects channel? It's crap. Alright. Yeah, so this is like the start. What I've done is I've split the melody into like 3 instances. So there's the Moog that's being modulated with volume. And there's like a kind of key synth sound thing. And then I have just a MIDI track and also the melody effect. So this, I split it up into like 4 different channels and made glitched out stuff. And the end result is this. I'm not really sure how the chords are going to go here. But the other thing that I made that I'm really excited about is this vintage riser sound. I love it. It's really cool. Hey dude, how you doing? Yeah, check out this riser. It's so fun. And it comes back. It's really cool. It kind of sounds like electrical humming. I think it's sort of similar to, just make a square wave. We'll start with a sine wave. How I made it, I used this dynamic tube, set the drive to full, and then played with the bias. So check it out. I think it was C. And for some reason it started like disappearing. I don't know how I got it, but it was really cool. Yeah, so I'm not sure how we're gonna have the chords going here. You seem to have a pretty good idea, so I'm just gonna start working on like a bass to go with the drums, because I reckon we could change some of the piano sounds, but for the most part the start's sick, I reckon. There's a wub coming up. I don't know if I like it or not. That one. Yeah, I really think, especially this section, just leading up to the drums is really cool. And I'm pretty happy with how the melody goes. And I kind of like the piano sound, even though it's kind of lame. Like, there's nothing special about that sound, but it's kind of subtle. Yeah, totally change it if you want. I've got the chords there that I'm using. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about the piano, so totally fuck with it. Oh, feedback. Yeah, we'll get feedback if I leave the cursor there for too long. Or was it here? Bit of fun. All right, cool. So now I'm just going to have a quick break and then I'm going to start working on the basses. Do you want me to render this all down and send it to you now, or sort it out a bit later? Which would you prefer? Yeah, fuck it. I'll just okay, cool. And I'll capture like the first 12 bars of drums or whatever as well. By the way, when I send you the stems, there will be other riser sounds, because I've got this really sick vintage one. But I've made two alternate versions of it as well. There's one with delay that's at a higher octave. It's less subtle. And there's the same thing without delay. But I like the low octave one because it's not too much, you know. Cool. All right, where am I at now? Yeah, I've actually been pretty productive today. I don't normally get as much done, especially early in the semester where I'm kind of like, I don't feel the pressure to work super hard. That's funny. I meant to write like Croquis version 3 with V3, but it's like Kiev number 3. That's sick. Yeah, I've sent it to you on Discord. I'm just going to loop this. Oh, fuck. Oh my god, it's all been deleted. Yeah, should probably save while I'm at it. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this playing. It won't be long. Yeah, same. Like, especially like the first 3 weeks. And then once you get to about like week 4 or something, you're like, oh no, I've got stuff due soon. Because that week 6 one is a bit of a bugger. By the way, with our comp 3 to 6, it's like a combined class. So it's kind of cool because you can see what everyone else will be doing. Like, you can see what the assignments are for like comp 3, comp 4 and everything like that. Alright, let's get a bass going. I'm going to use my Moog. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is just draw in a couple of notes, and luckily we already have those bass notes here. Yeah, that seems to be a complete set of loops there. Cool. I'm going to move these around a bit. And yeah, it's a full octave. Cool. So I can do some pitch bends as well. Alright, let's put in pitch bend there. Really quick up the octave and then quick down. Alright, I reckon a pitch bend there would also be cool. That's enough to work with. That's like what, a bar or something, 2 bars. Okay, now we can start thinking about this as a bit more than just a sub bass. fuck, that sounds sick. Even without any like modulation or anything. That's just like distortion and phasing, like making a Reese. Try down an octave. Duplicate that. have some fun with some effects racks. Just see what we get. Got June 12th, 7th 21, September 10. Let's try September 10. Takes like a million years to load because it's like a pretty intense track. Oh fuck, that's heavy, oh my god. We need the triplet grid. Some punch on the 16ths. Let's get the subs right. So 30 or 60. Go down to 30, that's possible. So far we haven't dealt with anything beyond the couple of filter frequencies and some distortion. Oh, that's cool. Give it there. What else can we play with? Some morph. What about? subs. Should be like 55 or so. Let's just make this one bar really cool. Some more notches going. I'm kind of finishing up the stream here because we'll take a break. We'll just listen to it once more. There's a lot of compression going on there, holy shit. All right, I'm gonna end the stream because it's like 2.5 hours. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah.